Hello, and welcome to another episode of Are You Mad at Me?
That was interesting. Hello.
Hello. I'm Vickie Morgan. This is Maebe Morgan.
Maebe Ina Potato.
Maebe Ina Potato Morgan.
Because when she was 6
and introduce
weeks
yourself.
old, she looked like a potato.
No,
so
that's
we
not
thought
quite it.
Maebe Ina Potato. She
no,
did.
I think it was, we went through a lot of names, and she didn't even have a name for like a week.
Yeah.
I think we called her Tater. We called her Tater Poutine.
I think we started with turnip.
Yeah. We wanted to do a root vegetable.
Some root vegetable.
And then I wanted to call her Ina, or I don't know. I don't remember how it went, but I know we were in Buren, walking around on the beach in Buren, and Maebe Ina Potato was the name that we were like, yep, that's it.
So
and
she's Maebe.
It was so, okay, off me now. She might be.
Go away now.
Okay. She can hang out. So Sparky's right behind me.
So I'm Josh Morgan.
And
this is the Are You Mad at Me podcast.
Yeah, so welcome back. And
And
Sparky's growling right
now. This is
now.
another Fortnite version. Another Fortnite episode.
Brand new season of Fortnite.
It's a new season.
That's
we already
awesome.
started playing, and it was way too distracting to do a podcast, so we scrapped it.
over.
We're starting it over.
So I find when I interview people, or
You know what? We got to win, though.
I know we'll put
That's
that
a
in.
shame.
We'll put that in.
I'll make that a short.
Yeah, so it'll look, and people will be like watching the whole show, going,
She's
"They
determined
didn't
to be
win.
on top of us.
They didn't win." Anyway, what was I going to say?
What?
Oh, 45 minutes in is usually the sweet spot. That's when people, like, their real selves come out. So I feel like when we used to do a radio show, it was the same thing. 45 minutes in, I would blossom, and the first 45 minutes was garbage. So let's just cut that out.
I think you blossomed 47 years ago.
Aw. When I was a sperm.
Okay.
When I was my dad's sperm.
All right.
So here's what we're gonna do. You know all those gurus on everywhere that are like, I'm gonna save you 10 years. It took me 10 years to learn these things, and I'm gonna give it to you in 5. So we're gonna cut out all the garbage. You don't have to listen to the first hour that we recorded. We're gonna start fresh, and I'm gonna give you all the highlights of what we talked about in the first hour that you don't have to sit through. First of all, big news from Josh Morgan about the podcast.
We've been on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music.
For free. All free platforms,
sorry, not
by
Apple
the
Music,
way.
Apple Podcast.
Doesn't cost us a penny to be listed on any of those websites.
This is for anybody that's considering being a podcaster. This is free.
Yeah.
So we did all three of those. So then I was looking the other night about where else can I list our podcast? Like, where can I put it so more people can see it? Because I think this is worth people hearing.
I think so. I love the dripping sarcasm from your voice, but I think so. Otherwise, why would we do
it?
Exactly.
So anyway, one of the things that, like, obviously I found, like, Spotify, and one was Google Podcasts, which doesn't exist anymore. One of them was...
Sorry, pause. Was that convincing when I said, of course, it's worth listening to?
Yeah.
Because truth be told, I do this because I love it. I don't know if it's worth anything,
fun.
but I sounded confident,
having
didn't
fun.
I? Well, I was pretty, nice.
So anyway, one of the things that came up was iHeartRadio. One of the things that came up was Pandora Podcast, which Pandora doesn't exist in Canada. So I went to the website and I was like, sorry, you can't go to this website. So anyway, iHeartRadio.
That might be parental control up on your...
iHeartRadio, I've heard about a lot. It's it's like Spotify. There's a lot of musicians. There's a lot of music on iHeartRadio. And it's like Spotify where it has like a paid version and a free version. They have like a music festival every year, the iHeartRadio Festival and stuff like that. So anyway, I went there and it was like, upload your RSS feed. We'll have a look at it. And then almost immediately got back, yep, your podcast is live on iHeartRadio.
Awesome.
So now we're on, let's see if I can remember, Spotify, YouTube. Those are the two video ones. You can do the video or audio on those. Mm-hmm. And Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio are audio only. So you can't see us playing Fortnite or our beautiful faces, but you can hear our lovely voices.
Yeah, coming at you, just like FM radio. Not really.
What's that old song? Coming at you on the FM dial. What was that old country song?
Coming to you live like I do every night. Not that one.
Yeah.
From the heart of your radio.
Love your Spotify.
So, you know what's funny? As I keep thinking, let's define the podcast. Let's figure out what it's all about. And why we don't need to just do this podcast. Like, maybe we're doing a Fortnite channel, and maybe we're also doing a music podcast where we have, like when we did Mulberry Creek in the radio station, maybe we should be piping people in on Zoom from all over the world. I've got a list of people that we were supposed to have on the radio show and just never got to.
How would we, do you think somebody, okay, do you think we could
how
have,
excited we are already?
do you think we could have guests that came on our show, on our podcast, and played Fortnite with us?
I don't know how we would possibly do that. They'd need a capture card and wouldn't they need all the stuff we have here?
What if we just connect with people, make friends with people, because you can play online. You can play Fortnite anywhere.
Yeah.
And we could just get somebody on Zoom Or just on the phone, just on speakerphone.
Oh, like the
We'll
boys
put a little microphone next to it.
Maybe. Or maybe there's a Fortnite channel and we connect with people on there.
Maybe Nate Bargatze and Aaron Weber and Brian Bates will play Fortnite with us and be on our podcast.
Maybe when their kids are a little older, they'll be on Fortnite and they can teach the parents how to play. Because that's how I learned. I didn't know how to use these double thingies.
Dual access.
Double thingies. Yeah, thank you. Double access, whatever. Anyway, the boys showed me how to use these, and now they don't play Fortnite with us. Clearly evidenced by the fact that there's a brand new season, and we're playing by ourselves. The boys are asleep, which is...
They don't even know it's a new season.
Unheard of. Wait till they... Oh, man. I want to wake them up and go up and go,
they
guess
go,
what you're missing.
Whatever. We don't play Fortnite anymore. That's for parents.
It's like the Facebook of video games. It wouldn't be the first time young whippersnappers have said, oh, we aged out of that.
We talked to some people, and they said that in front of our kids when we were talking about why we like playing Fortnite. And we were like, do you guys play Fortnite? And they were like...
Beginning of the end.
We were like, why don't you guys play? Oh, I guess we aged out of it. Okay.
All right.
We're having fun.
Touch grass, losers. That's what I just said. That's what the young people say when you play video games too much. I haven't played this game since we recorded our podcast last week. And again, like we already said, we already recorded an hour and it was unusable drivel.
We were so distracted by the new season.
Yeah. So many pretty colors.
There was like, it was an hour of us. Half of it was us just not talking.
Yeah.
Just playing Fortnite.
And me yelling
quietly
at Josh because I couldn't find him. And anyway, there's a new weapon in Fortnite called the kneecapper, and boy, do I wish that was a real... I mean, I know I could buy a baseball bat.
A baseball bat.
But the freedom with which you can use it in Fortnite is just glorious. And so, it gets a little aggression out, I gotta say. So, what you missed in the first episode, the first time we did this episode, been doing a little bit of marketing for the podcast. And so my advice to anybody that wants to start a podcast is, just like when you're going to thinking about having kids, that idea of like, are we ready? You don't need to be ready. That is solid business advice. Coming from a background in, like, I've done multiple Tony Robbins workshops. So I think you can trust me.
I just found a kneecapper.
They're the best. They're way better than the sword, than the typhoon blade.
Are they?
Oh yeah, way better. It's like the other characters look shocked when you hit them with it.
Like, what are you doing?
What? And
did you just hit me with a bat?
Yeah. Did you hit me in the back of the knees? Yeah, I did. And there's more
right.
where that came from. It'd be nice to have a purge day. That's all.
Are you advocating for the purge?
I haven't seen the movie, but I understand
I get the gist.
Harmless, and everybody is
just having fun.
Everybody feels better
living
at the
in the
end.
moment.
Everybody feels better at the end. Yes, being present. Anyway, podcast. We're 14 episodes in, and just now figuring it out. I think every week we're figuring out new stuff. So I started doing the show notes, and I'm here to alleviate any fears people have about AI. It is not going to take over the world. It's not going to replace artists. It's not going to replace writers, because... Not
tomorrow, anyway.
Not anytime soon, because it's really good for generating, like, content ideas, or, like, stuff if you're...
It's a good kickstart for some things.
It is. It's a Kickstarter, but I think when you've created things, it's like, it's almost like going and talking to your 4 worst friends and getting the worst, stupidest advice you ever heard in your life and going, okay, I can
do better than that.
I can do better than that. And then whatever you were considering doing yourself is like, all of a sudden, I might as well just do what I thought of.
So now you're leaving town. I just want to let you know, because in a minute you're going to be like, where are you? You didn't tell me you went anywhere. And you're the one that left. So I just wanted to point out, I'm coming to get you. Are you in trouble?
Oh, do I need to be saved? Is that what you're implying?
Do you need to be saved?
No. Kicking ass.
I'm heading your way.
Well, I just put a lot of bullets in somebody and they haven't gone. Oh, there they are. Motherfucker, get back here. Get back here and take your medicine. I'm going
to cut him off on the other side.
No. Let me get him, because he's on like two health.
You don't want me to tenderize him for you?
I already did. Oh, he is tenderized. Why is he running? Get back here.
I got a sniper rifle. I can kill him.
I don't want to snipe. I want to get him myself.
I want to punch him to death with my fists.
Where's the kneecapper? Why is he fighting me? Get back here.
Stand still and let us kill you. I got him in my sights. I can get him.
Are we looking at the same person? Come on, let me get him. Did you get them?
I didn't think there was any chance that would hit. It was just
Why didn't you
one.
shoot?
I'm sorry. I really didn't think that would hit.
Let's wind the tape back and see if that's what Vickie wanted.
I'm sorry.
Or are there 69 other people you could have gone and shot?
I know. Look, there's some gunfire. Let's go get them.
Yeah,
Let's go
whatever.
Get 'em. It's
whatever.
all you. This is all you.
No, you're on your own now.
You can have my kneecapper if you want it.
I have one, thank you.
You can have a second one. I mean,
whatever.
To be fair, it was a really lucky shot.
Yeah, but if you hadn't pulled it...
I know. You're right. I'm sorry.
What a dick.
Sorry.
I can't believe you just did that. I can't believe there's witnesses. Everybody thinks Josh is like perfect. Here's your proof that it's like kind of a chore sometimes.
Oh, I completely agree with that.
See, he doesn't even fight back. It's like, dude.
Come over here.
Who could stay mad at him? I mean, seriously, it had to be a monster. Where are you? I can't even see you on the map.
I'll mark the people.
Well, I got to reload everything. Okay, I got some good stuff here, so here, I'm coming. Thank you for your help with that elimination. I can't believe you shot at somebody that I was chasing. But
sorry. It's a team sport.
Anyway,
does that help at all?
Let's talk about the podcast.
Okay.
You don't need to be ready. Just start it. That was exactly how we started the podcast. It was like we had as of last January.
You see the people over there by the train?
No. That's where I was earlier. Was the train? I think they're bots.
Okay, I think there was. I saw 3 or 4.
Here we go.
So you don't need to be ready. Just do the thing.
We had a radio show, and we had been talking about doing a podcast, and it was like, yeah, one of these days. And then it was taking little tiny baby steps. So Josh went down in the basement and set up the microphones, and it was like, all right, good start. And then it was like, well, why don't we do a sound check? Like, all right, this guy wants to. Oh, he's one of those. Did we get a bunch of stuff for? He must be
the boss.
Like, yeah. Aha, take that. Who's the boss now? Unstoppable medallion.
Let's
what do you get for that?
Inspect.
Why is the train stop?
Knock back enemies you sprint into. Also increases sprint speed.
Okay.
Cool.
What's this?
What's what?
I just got some kind of a weird backward C coin. And what's that music?
Just killed somebody with a kneecapper.
I mean, yeah, good job. I put some bullets in him too.
Nice, thanks.
You're welcome. See, teamwork.
Teamwork.
So Baby Steps started off as an idea. Started off as from the idea was like we talked about it a couple of times, and then it was like then we felt really bad about it because we hadn't started it and went through that whole process, that creative process of what a great idea. Oh, we're a piece of shit because we haven't started it yet. We haven't already done it. So, yeah. So that part of it's garbage. If you're going through that part of like, oh, I wanted to do a podcast and I haven't done it yet. Oh, what was it from Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Peter, you suck. Peter, you suck. Peter, you don't do anything of value. Is that it?
No, the one with, I went on.
No, that's not it.
I kept carrying out my life.
Thanks for just letting me sing there.
It's okay. This guy's just standing here. Loves it.
Okay, I'm headed your
someone
way.
else is shooting at me.
I'm coming,
Wait,
I'm coming.
Coming my way.
Yeah,
I thought you were right here next to me.
I was still in the same place.
What? Don't worry, it's all bots.
Is it?
Yeah. If I'm hitting them, they're bots.
Nice shot. I saw that from my scope.
Nice. It's like a little tiny round.
There's somebody else shooting over there. You see him?
Nope. Gotta reload. So baby steps and then backward steps for guilt and beating yourself up and berating yourself for being a piece of crap. And then once that passes and you go, hey, maybe I didn't need to start it last year. Maybe now is good since it's already hasn't been done yet. So a year ago we were doing a radio show, stopped doing that, and had a list of people we were going to have on as guests. And it just wasn't a good fit for us at that moment. So we stopped doing a radio show, and it's still a door that's open to us if we ever wanted to go back to do a radio show in the studio. It was a great place to have guests.
It was fun, yeah. It was the infrastructure was there.
Hard to find.
Yeah, it was a little bit tricky for people that hadn't been there before.
And parking wasn't free, so that was kind of a pain too. That we had to get people. It's like to navigate Memorial University's parking lots and what was available and all that stuff. And then even when they found the parking spots, they had to pay for them, which was kind of a pain. Not a big deal, but like not ideal. So we were like, yeah, we haven't started the podcast yet. And so Josh set up the gear and he was like, let's do a sound check since we're down here. And we did, and we just let it roll. And that was the first episode. Didn't have the marketing all worked out. Didn't have the structure.
Come get these.
Still don't have the structure worked out.
These things.
Do you have a med kit? Use a med kit. So you don't need to be. I've been reading a lot about that.
You don't need to be
kind
ready.
of idea about starting a business or starting. I mean, if you're getting funded for stuff, they're going to want a business plan in place, and they're going to want a whole lot of stuff. But if you're just like bootstrapping something, and finding ways to do it yourself, a lot of times you can tweak it as you move along. It doesn't need to be in perfect form before you start, because you're going to learn stuff along the way, and locking yourself in and going, well, I already started this way is garbage. Like, life's too short for that stuff. Oh, come on, you.
Nice. Kicking ass.
Thanks. So, where was I?
Just doing the thing.
I need a med kit.
Here.
And some shield if you have it.
It's right behind you. I don't have any shield.
Thank you. So still figuring out the marketing, and did a lot of work. Started catching up on the show notes, and I forgot why the show notes were important, and that's why I'm 11 episodes behind in show notes. So here's what I'm learning about podcasting, and I'm sharing that as I go along in case you're listening and going, I want to start a podcast, which I think is basically everybody that has commented or talked to us is people that would make such good podcast hosts, and I'd love to hear, I love hearing from them, so I know I'd love to hear
You're becoming a huge advocate. Like, every time somebody has a lot to say, you're like, you should start a podcast, especially like with Henry, who's 14, and we're like, every time he goes on a rant with his friends on a call or something, you're like...
I find him entertaining to listen to. I really do. So it's not just somebody that goes on rants. It's more of like people that are smart and have a lot, have stuff that I'm interested in hearing.
I just found a teleporta potty.
And,
I don't know where I'm going to end up.
Okay. Do you know where you went yet?
Oh, shoot. I'm going to come back to you.
So if you're thinking about starting a podcast, or you're thinking about starting a business, or any of those things, or writing a book, my advice is just start. Start from wherever you are. I don't care what's going on today in your life. Pick up a pen, pick up a piece of paper, and start it. Like, there was when we were learning cursive writing, this is from the third episode also, when we were learning cursive writing in 4th grade, we had to write this sentence over and over again. Once begun, you're half done. And it was like, this is the stupidest thing ever.
I'm never going to need this.
What kind of a word is begun? And what does this even mean? And I guess they were trying to work in some inspiration into our lives or something along the way, but it didn't make any sense to me at the time, but it really is that way. Just start it. Just do it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. So just accept it, and you could be happy right now. Isn't that nice?
Very nice.
It's really nice to think about.
I like it.
Thank you. I was watching some videos last night of a lady who...
I just got sniped. I'm knocked.
Me too.
How did we walk into that trap?
Demon brother spelled wrong. Spelled like semen with a D. So, not a fan.
Demon brother, you're dead to me.
Yep.
All right.
Well, I mean, that was pretty good snipes. He got
next
me on
match.
He got me on the what do you call it?
He got you on the zip line.
I think maybe next time when we do Fortnite, maybe we should play for an hour.
Play for a little while.
Warm up.
Get into the swing. Yeah. Warm it up.
Because I murdered just now. That was awesome.
We had tons of
It
kills.
was awesome. And I was concentrating on the podcast. So it seems like maybe if I don't concentrate on Fortnite, I'd be better at it. That's the key.
If you're distracted.
Yeah.
I found that one thing that the boys...
you want to set your timer?
Especially when they were younger. The boys would get so frustrated when they get eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that when you just don't try to win, it's way more fun.
Now, are you advocating for telling people to try to lose?
Not well. I mean, that's an option because that's just having fun, right? Like if you go do something crazy, like I'm going to see if I can get all, really terrible guns.
Yeah.
Or just
try to
one
do
gun.
everything with a pistol.
Yeah.
So I saw something a while back. I should just put my Instagram feed on wherever we are so people can go, what is she looking at? And I'll just show everything. And I do get my information from other places. It's just every now and then something kind of grabs my attention. That was me justifying my existence and my thought. It was about trying to fail. Like when there's something that you have in front of you, this was the advice. When you have something in front of you that's causing you a lot of stress because you want to succeed and you want it to go well, if you can flip it and say, what if I tried to fail at this thing?
Who was it that was talking about that? It was somebody we like, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I feel like it was Jerry Seinfeld or Larry David or something.
It might have been. Yeah. I don't think it was either one of them, but I think it was a comedian.
Yeah,
or somebody we
like.
love.
But you get so focused on.
Oh, one of those older dudes. I might have sent it to you. I'll look it up. See
you
if
get
I
so
can share
focused
it.
on doing it perfect that you fail because you're. But then if you try to fail and have fun.
The humor built around it. What if I was trying to fail at this thing? It'd be like, I mean, I guess I'd be doing, and it just loosens you up. I find it's just comical.
Well, I mean, you did write a book called How to Fail at Documentary Filmmaking.
We also made a documentary series called How to Fail at Accessibility.
Yeah.
It was going to be a whole
So
thing.
there's something there. The entertainment of failure.
You know, maybe
That's the podcast title.
You might be onto something. Maybe it's revisiting all that stuff and going, what would I do right now if I was trying to fail at this thing?
Yeah.
And I guess adding Fortnite to our podcast would be right up that alley. Not sure if it's going to be a big hit with the people, but I know there's people who watch Fortnite. Oh, I don't have a gun, and there's somebody that's going to try to
You got
kill
people?
me.
Oh, I'm going to try to get over there. Hang on.
Oh, she's a newbie. I'll get her.
All right.
She doesn't know what she's doing. Ah!
You good?
Can't get me! I wish I could do a Pee Wee Herman voice. Oh, she got me! Yeah, try to fail. Now see? Nothing to worry about. Josh came and revived me. It was awesome.
She is knocked, and now she is
Nice.
eliminated.
Vapor. Yeah, doesn't need to be perfect, and you can get started right where you are.
Here.
What do you got?
Turn around.
Awesome, thank you. Josh just gave me a med kit. I love it. Should I do commentary for people that are only listening to the audio?
A described video.
That sounds violent.
Right now, Vickie is shooting at another player.
So working on the marketing, and again, I'm going to reassure everybody that AI is not going to take over the world, because it's kind of you know what? I do have a fear that AI would listen to this, and when they do revolt, that they'd be like, let's go after the people that said we wouldn't take over. I saw Terminator a few too many times, I think.
They'd be like, what do you think of that now?
But I don't think there's anything to worry about, because I don't think it will ever actually replace art or writing or those things. There's a reasonable fill-in, and I know a lot of our older friends have been posting stuff lately that are like, oh my God, can you believe this is happening? And it's AI generated, which is like, oh God. It's pretty, I don't know. I don't know if it's disappointing or comical. I don't know what that is, but it's like some stuff might get past.
So as
the
a graphic
sniff test.
designer, I use AI occasionally for like jump-starting ideas. Like when I'm sitting down and...
So would that count, like, would you go on like Pinterest to look up, to jumpstart ideas also? Would
yes,
that, okay.
100%.
Okay.
It's just sometimes I like when I'm staring at a blank canvas on Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop or whatever, and it's like I have no idea how I want to even start this.
So I'm going to go back to it being similar to if you called your worst top worst friend, your very worst bottom feeding friends who give you terrible advice. If you called them just to kind of clarify and solidify what you already thought you wanted to do anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the same.
That's how and maybe it'll improve. I don't know.
Like also, when I'm doing a poster for something and I want a certain style, but I don't know how to start it, I'll go to Google image search and get some ideas. Like I'm not going to use those images. I'm just going to figure out how I want want mine to look, or you know what I mean? Like it's okay to jumpstart your creative process.
So my understanding, and I haven't embraced it, but because I don't have to decorate and I don't have to come up with ideas to entertain a bunch of people, but I understand Pinterest is like that, and people who plan their wardrobes and decorate houses and things like that.
It's finding things you like.
These are not in my purview. There's not in my experience right now. So, but I understand that places like Pinterest are really good for that, because you can go see other people's vision boards.
Yeah.
And kind of it jumpstarts what you might like to see, and
I think
I think the idea of sharing stuff is a big deal. Like, oh well, you stole an idea I had for my wedding floral arrangements. They're like, well, are all your people going to be at my wedding? Like, it seems like the idea of sharing.
Does it matter?
It seems like sharing is a big thing on Pinterest. And so, but when I was researching way back when we first started the podcast, I researched a lot of stuff that I forgot about, honestly, because Christmas happened and then January came, and I guess time just kept passing. But I didn't do all the stuff that I learned. And if it's not front of mind, it can kind of, and of course, when you're doing marketing and advertising, people need to see things between 7 and 12 times for it to actually get through.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's the same sometimes with learning.
Wait for me.
Okay.
So one thing that
So it popped up again, which I'm grateful for. Go ahead.
Thing that I've found is Whoa.
It's a chasm. Go ahead.
Especially doing the graphic design program that I've been doing for the past couple of years. Why are you driving into this tunnel?
Why not?
This is crazy.
No, it's not. Oh, okay. Now I'm claustrophobic.
Right, I'm going to get out now.
Oh, I have to destroy this car. I can't. Oh, I can't. Oh, yeah. Can you help me out here?
What do you need?
I need you to help me destroy this car because I need to get out of this tunnel. This
Just
is so
turn
gross.
around. Just go the other way. Oh, you can't get over it, can you?
No.
All right, I'm coming.
No, because I have this Godzilla skin and... Oh, thank you. Okay.
Did you just get damaged?
A lot.
Are you still stuck in there?
Yeah. All right, back the tunnel I go.
Back through the tunnel.
Ugh. Anyway.
So what I was going to say was, all my life I've enjoyed making art, and I've always felt simultaneously I've enjoyed it and felt that I was terrible at it. So, like, especially when I started doing the graphic design program, I always just, and even like coming up with music. Like, I don't write songs, but I like to, come up with the music for songs that you write, that sort of thing. Anyway, my point is, I feel like people that are artists and people that are creative just always have stuff just spilling out of them. The art is just, it's just all like,
I'm sorry.
It's just like, it's all original, all brand new, never seen before. Just
comes out brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I'm finding that everybody that makes art, I mean, probably with a few exceptions, but pretty much everybody that makes art.
Name one. I dare you. You just said it. Name one person that you think it comes out of perfectly.
Bo Burnham. I think people like that do just the new original stuff, but I think that's very rare.
Yeah, but how many drafts did he go through before he's showing it? That? I don't think there's a single artist out there that it comes out perfect, and that perfectionism holds so many people back from trying.
That's what I mean. Because my whole life I would be like, I'm not going to pursue this, or I'm not going to try harder because I'm not actually any good at it. And it was like,
and how do you get better at anything?
I could just get inspiration from Pinterest or Google, or go to art display, shows or whatever. And like, I don't know, it's it's freeing.
I did a workshop once, and it was a person who had written a lot of songs and stuff, and they said they had a playlist that would put them in the mood to write a song. They would listen to a bunch of songs like what they were trying to go
Big
for.
time.
And it's like, wait a second, so I think if we talk to more artists, like we did a radio show where we talked to a bunch of musicians and we found out
their process
a lot of people,
and stuff.
a lot of people were getting ideas when they were mowing the lawn or in the shower or when they'd first wake up in the morning or when they were doing something else, the ideas would come.
Yeah.
And so maybe we should talk to some more artists just to alleviate those fears that I don't think I think there are inspired moments for everybody and they're glorious. And I think that's what makes you fall in love with any art form, is those moments of like absolute channeling inspiration. Is beautiful. And I think the rest of it is like, you also do it for stress relief and something to distract you from the rest of life. And those are things that you want to find that frequency quickly sometimes. And sometimes if you're sad, I think if you're sad or depressed, inspiration is pretty far away. And so finding things that get you into that mode is not cheating. It's
inspiration. Just using the word inspiration, I think, helps.
It's getting into that frequency of
I got a car.
What can I do to put myself in the area? Andy Jones had a great
metaphor.
He had a great analogy. I don't know what you'd call it, but he said, if you want to write plays, it helps to be sitting at a computer.
Yeah.
Or something along
you
like
need
that.
To have a pencil in your
That's
hand.
not word for word, but he had a friend who was a poet. And if he was out at dinner or somewhere socially or in a position that he didn't have a piece of paper in his hand and a pencil, if he got an idea for a poem, he would say out loud, "Hold poem."
Really?
And that's what Andy Jones based that on. He said the idea was it's easier if you're sitting in front of a typewriter or with a pen and paper or whatever. It's easier for the stuff to come through. Whereas if you're out driving and saying, "Oh, I wish I could write a song," like, of course you're not writing a song when you're driving down the road. Unless you have a recording device where you can record it into your phone or whatever. But those are little tips and tricks that talking to artists has been one of the greatest experiences of my life, because it made me when I was recording with Corey Tedford, I made a comment one day and I said, oh yeah, I had this idea when I was in high school, but I wasn't a musician then, and he goes, oh, you were absolutely a musician when you were in high school, and it was probably clawing to get out, just dying to come out of you. And I just thought, what a nice thing to say to somebody. Like, did you just call me a musician?
What?
And when we did a songwriter circle a couple of weeks ago, my friend Jared was sitting next to me and I said, oh my God, I feel like a real musician. And he went, oh honey, you're definitely a real musician. I don't know if he called me honey, and just in my mind it did, because it was like butter smooth. It was so nice. But those are things that, like, people are afraid to call themselves, like, writers.
Claim that title.
Like somebody else deserves it and they don't. And it's like, man,
Where are you
that's
going?
wherever I want. Why would you ask me a question like that right now?
I'm following you.
I'm in the zone, man.
You're locked in.
Well, I'm not even here right now. Like, Fortnite is like the last thing on my mind right now, so I don't know where I'm going. Anyway, what I'm learning, so I'm going to go back to, because Aaron Weber has a degree from, Aaron Weber's one of the co-hosts on Nateland, which I'm still catching up on. I think we're 85 episodes in now, and I love it so much. Aaron Weber went to Notre Dame, and he has a degree, and so they did an episode, I think 84, 85 episodes in. They did an episode focused on advertising, and they were like, okay, Aaron, you did a degree in marketing. Let's hear your advertising ideas. And it was like, and he said, marketing is a tiny, tiny portion of advertising is a tiny portion of marketing, and that I had never heard that sentence before. Oh, who's this? Are you down?
Nope, but I'm close.
Let me help. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I am in rough shape.
I hadn't heard it put like that before, because I've just assumed marketing, advertising, promotion is all the same stuff, but it is definitely not. And I'm really glad to hear, this is what I'm learning from this podcast that is not even supposed to be educational, but it was just a passing comment, and I get that a lot from the Nateland podcast. It's a whole lot of inspirational stuff, and they don't market themselves as an educational or inspirational. It's just supposed to be fun comedy. That guy get in the car? Yeah.
Did.
My God, that was nuts. So the car's okay. Here. Okay. Marketing and advertising. I'm gonna finish this thought. Marketing is figuring out what you offer, who might benefit, like who would want it, why you're good at it.
Shoot, I'm almost dead.
I'm trying to help. I'm not being very good at it.
I'm knocked. Shoot. Well, we third-partied somebody else, so they're third-partying us.
NPC.
Good luck. I know you can do it. I believe in you.
Really?
Get in the car and drive away.
Oh, there's no gas in it.
Oh, really? Did you just kill them?
I did.
I know I believed in you. Okay, revive me.
All right. Try saying please, because that was
amazing.
How do I only have one limb out of that? Now, see, I was trying to finish my thought about marketing and advertising. That's why I was able to do all that, because I didn't care.
That was amazing.
Did I see more footprints? Ugh.
All right, I need medkits.
So I did the business program at CNA. Did I already say this? Never did an advertising course. Did I already say that?
You started. I think you might have said that during the last podcast that we scrapped.
So, Paul.
Here, take this.
If Paul's listening, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we did any advertising. I think it was all so marketing is figured out what you do, who'd want it, how are you going to deliver it to the people that would benefit from it, and how much is it. And then the very last piece, the icing on the cake, is advertising. And the advertising is figuring out how to tell that story to the people who need to know it in order to buy from you. So it's a very last piece. And so I'm figuring all that stuff out and it's been really great because part of figuring out how to market the podcast. And this is stuff we knew 3 episodes in. I'm just getting around to it now. Yeah, there's no gas in this car. Oh, there is. What? Oh, I could have got away.
There you go.
So I did a little bit of research, and if you sat down with a marketing professional about your small business or whatever, there would be questions like, okay, what do you offer?
Let's stay here on the hill. Maybe we can shoot some people.
There's a van there.
Yeah, that's NPCs. They're fine. Just let them go. Sorry. I'm listening. Marketing yourself.
Hang on. Did I just land in people?
Oh shoot, I'm coming down. One's knocked. That bat is intense.
I told you. Yeah, I just got totally distracted there. That was intense. There's so many pretty colors. It really is, though. It's so. When I first started playing Fortnite, I used to just get in a transport truck and run over people, and it was awesome. But it didn't have a good turning radius.
It was very, very slow.
You could shoot somebody just in the truck, and so that's what usually happened to me. And then the boys would have to come revive me. So it wasn't a great plan. Anyway, if I were marketing for somebody else, I would sit down with somebody and say, "All right, tell me what you do. Who would want it? How much does it cost? Like, what are you going to charge for it? And then
how do you get them?
How do you find, like, how do you get it to the people who could use it? And then the last part is, all right, how do we tell people that story? And so I've been hearing a lot of stuff about, like, being authentic and telling who you are as a person. And I feel like I've focused so much on that I forgot what I have to offer. So as much as I love doing the podcast, it was really difficult to figure out, what do we have to offer? And it's not, I don't mean in terms of services, like, where is our experience? Like, what can we speak to that we know about? And I was like, well, that was a tough one. And so we sat down and did up a list of, like, all right, what do we know about? And it was like homeschooling, music, writing, publishing. And then it was like, oh, right, entrepreneurship, because we've started companies and we've had to shut down we've had to refocus our energy onto something else and figure out when something wasn't working. Like, those are, oh, come on.
Nice.
Oh, son of a, did you see that?
That was
I'm
awesome.
at 2%.
Are you serious? I got medkits.
I put a wall up in that guy's build, and he ran out of bullets shooting through it at me, through his own build. That was awesome. This game is friggin' awesome.
You're kicking ass.
I have 2 limbs to our 10, so I don't know about that, but thank you. You might be carrying me in this one.
The car just drove past. Let him go.
Mid-miss smoke grenade. I still don't know what that is.
It's only for health. I won't give you shit.
I want to get rid of this sniper. That's awful.
Oh, shit. We gotta go.
Let me
Run.
So,
Do you have a bat?
I don't. Why, does it help you run?
Yeah.
I didn't find that.
I just knocked a person in the storm. That's not good. I took some fall damage.
Okay, this storm is going real fast, and I don't think I'm going to make it out.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Well, that's great, but...
You have medkits? Oh,
I
shoot.
don't.
There's only 3 other people left.
Well, I'm not going to be one of them in about 4 seconds. Yep, there we are. I'm down. Can you come get me?
I'm coming. Shoot. Come on. We can do this. Run.
Oh my god, I'm down again. Are you down?
No, I'm medkitting.
Okay, good. I'm out.
Are you out of the storm?
Yep. Okay. See? Hard to concentrate on 2 things at once. So so I'm back from Fortnite now.
Come over to me.
Where are you? If you're thinking about starting a podcast,
Do it.
do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. And if it I feel like it's right along the lines of self-publishing also. If you have a business,
Run again.
it's a great way.
Run. Wait. Now run, quick.
It's a great way to let people know what your business is and what you do. And the bonus is they get to know you And that might be an incentive to buy from you rather than somebody who does exactly what you do, who might have a shitty personality. Did you hear that confidence I just had?
Okay, get out of storm.
Yeah.
Hop in this car.
Yes. I feel like the storms are moving real fast.
There's only 2 other players left.
All right, go.
We are killing it. I don't have much health. There's a little house. Maybe there's some loot in there. For the other 2 players. Okay, I'm going to try to find some health.
Okay.
All right.
Medkit right here.
Where?
Right here.
Nice. Can I have it? You don't need it. Sorry, folks. We're postponing the podcast while we finish this match because we're kicking ass.
I feel like we went through the whole last season and we might have had 2 wins the entire time.
I know. It was rough. I'm using this bat a lot, though.
I do like that thing. I just haven't found one this game. And of course, if you're having a bad week, you could always just do a Fortnite podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no rules.
No rules at all.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
You know, in high school when you're like, I mean, I don't know if boys do this, but in high school when you're trying to get ready to go like a school dance or like an event at school and you just spend so much time. I didn't have a lot of clothes to pick from, but I spent a lot of time worrying what people would think.
I found him.
Okay.
They're just right down that hill. Oh, I got a med kit.
Sorry.
One's down.
I'm down in the bush.
Where'd he go?
He's right there. I can see his feet. Oh, be careful.
Victory Royale.
Awesome.
We did
now
it.
we got to win on the podcast.
We got to win on the podcast. Whew.
So we got 14 or 15 minutes now before we get into another match.
Sorry I couldn't revive you.
Forever. Oh, it's okay. This will count it. So I learned some old lady words. I mean,
what do you mean?
What I mean by that is words that would stop an old lady.
What do you mean? Like a good heavens kind of old lady?
No, not offensive. Just, okay. In the self-publishing process, there are certain stop gaps or certain gates that people stop at. Stop gates?
Yeah, I see. Like speed bumps, maybe?
Things that would stop you in your tracks and you might not proceed ever. So a couple of them are ISBN. Is getting a number like that goes on the back of the book. It's like an 9 or 11 digit number. The next one is the tax interview. When you sign up for a KDP account, there's a tax interview and it's intimidating. And that, I know those are spots because that's where I stopped and went, I'm never going to figure this out.
The only reason that's important though is if you want to get paid for selling your book, which that's a thing people worry about, right? How am I going to make money with this thing?
So
and
unless I was doing
unless
I was doing writing church bulletins, obviously people want to get paid for
that's
their
what
writing.
I mean.
So
yeah,
it's
that's why that's important. So you want,
but it also feels like if you get it wrong, somebody's going to come knock on your door and arrest you, and it's very scary to see anything with IRS written on there. So, at the time when we did our first book, the ISBN issue became, I mean, it was looming. I'm getting off track, but ISBN tax interview and. There was some stuff with formatting, like when you submit your book for a review to KDP or with Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. Sometimes it'll come back and say there's some issues with like the formatting, like it's off by a millimeter. If it prints, it's not going to be in the parameter areas, whatever. Little things like that, or like how to use the templates. But I know the ISBN and the tax interview were massive, scary obstacles. So the words that are tripping me up. So I know I came to you 11 episodes ago and said, hey, can you do our website? Make a website for me and put an e-commerce capability on there? And you're like, I don't know how to do that. And I was like, but you're doing graphic design. Turns out having the language to actually go to a professional and say, hey, do you do these things? That was a good lesson. Graphic designers are not people who design websites or who set up e-commerce for a website.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to do it.
I can design a website, but I don't know how to implement it.
And that is worthless to me because I don't know what I want designed. I don't know. I don't have any I need this color scheme. I have no idea. I mean, I could go on Pinterest and find out, I guess, what it should have on there, but I have no idea. And then having marketing people involved with graphic designers is great because the marketing people are the ones who know, oh, yellow makes people hungry. Brown makes people eat fast. Purple makes people try on clothes in a warm closet. I don't know.
Spend more money.
But they know the psychology. I guess I just
Hopefully.
realized I'm a marketing person. I don't know that stuff. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I could design Subway again from the floor up. I know why they have certain colors in there, but there wasn't really any formula of like, if you want people to do this, then make something purple with yellow spots. So it turns out Josh is not studying in the graphic design program how to do an e-commerce or a website for somebody. So I did it myself, learned how to do it. Bunch of stuff that was like, oh, I don't know what this means, and it scared the crap out of me because I was like, I don't want to do it wrong and then like have my bank account attached to this thing accidentally. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Or like putting your banking information in to pay for the website was like, oh man, what if there's like a list somewhere and they publish it? Like, just craziness. So I've noticed that there are little things that scare people. Old lady gates.
Old lady gates. That's
old
good.
lady gates that are like, oh, now I think grandfathers would just go, here, take my information, and then we got to patch it up after. Like, we're going to have to take you off the grid, Grandpa. But I feel like an old lady when those things happen. Like, I should know how to do this better than that. Come on. Ah! She got me.
How did we get killed so fast?
I don't know.
We lost our crowns and everything. No.
Bitch.
Good heavens.
Yeah. Good heavens. There's a stopgap right there. This woman, Mrs. just killed me, and now I can't continue in Fortnite. So, a couple of things that I got into when we did podcasting was, what is it? What's the feed? RSS.
RSS, yep.
Stopped me in my tracks. I'll never figure out what that means. Obviously, I can't make podcasts. And it stopped me from proceeding.
But that's the good thing about having us together is I did that part.
Yeah.
And I dealt with it a little bit before, so I had some idea of what to do with it.
Well, this isn't our first podcast, and it wasn't our first radio show. And when we wanted to get them put places, that was things. So it was a thing you needed. So like when we had a Vimeo channel, there was stuff to get our Vimeo channel put on Roku, which is, we had a channel. I don't know if it's probably still on there because they just haven't taken it down. But when we were trying to make a channel to put on Roku, because we found out if you have a Vimeo Pro account, you can have a channel on Roku. So if you don't use Roku and you use, what are the other ones called?
Well, there's like
Apple TV,
Apple TV, Google TV.
Google. What's the stick? There's something with a stick.
Oh yeah, Amazon Fire
Stick. Yeah. So there's all these other there's other types of TVs people have. So Roku was specific to. We were used to Roku and we saw other channels on there. So when we were trying to set that up, there was all this language in there that was like, what proxy? What? It was. Could have been. I don't know. It was totally foreign to me. And I know there was places along the way that would go, okay, obviously I'm not going to have a channel on Roku ever. And it would stop me in my tracks, and I'd have to walk away from it, and I'd just give up on the idea until eventually it would kind of needle away at me and go, why don't you just Google
what if you just
that
learn
means?
about it?
Yeah. So I feel like that's the crux of adult learning, is that if you don't get a certificate at the end, most adults don't count what they've learned on their own as actual learning and credentials.
Yeah.
So, again, when I did my master's in adult education, halfway through the program, it was like, I'm never going to be able to navigate these instructors and the policies and the how to get along. And it's been, I don't know, maybe your brain gets tired after you've been doing something for a long time. I don't know. But it's like there's a threshold of what you can learn. And once you reach it, you go, all right, obviously, I'm going to have to give up on this dream or whatever it is I'm hoping to accomplish. Obviously, it's not for me. And sometimes the stuff Stephen King used to say that the ideas in his book on writing, he said the good ideas come back. They come back to you. The stuff that you're meant to be doing, they will come back. And so that brings me to, we set up our website. I set up the e-commerce on there. And then we're like, all right, well, I guess that's as far as I'm ever going to go. I guess people will
you
find
didn't
it now.
finish that. You asked me to do it, and I said, I don't know how to do it. So you went and learned how to do it.
Yep. Now, could I do it for somebody else? Absolutely. And could I explain to somebody else how to do it? Maybe. But, I mean, I don't know all the mechanics of it, but I can make it look pretty and make it so that the money goes into your bank account when you make a sale.
I think you could answer a lot of questions that people would have.
Well, I'd also know what I don't know. And so I would Google search if I ran into something that I didn't know or couldn't explain, that I would at least be able to send somebody in the right direction.
Yeah.
So we started to pay. Congratulations to us. We started a podcast. Okay, whoop-de-doo. You put a few episodes out. A few of your friends listen to it. All right. Now, what did Joe Rogan do? What did Mark Maron do? What did Nateland do to get their podcast out there? Couldn't tell you. I have no idea. But in just doing regular Google searches and Reddit searches and all those things, it seems to be show notes.
Yeah.
And I knew that was
engaging
important.
with the audience so they can follow along.
Well, my brain melted. Like I knew, we figured that out months ago, and I was like, all right, I can't figure out how to do that. Why do you even need show notes? The reason you need show notes is because the transcript, there is not actual bots out there crawling around the internet saying, on July 31st, Victoria Morgan said that she didn't like the premiere. It doesn't work like that. It's like the transcripts aren't searchable. Even like if I want to look up something on Nateland, like what was that episode where they were talking about Nate's dog? What was the dog's name that he had to put down? You're not going to be able to find it. You have to go listen to the episodes. You can't search the transcript. So if you don't do show notes, the stuff you're talking about on your podcast isn't findable. Now you can trust the law of attraction that it's going to bring everybody to your doorstep and the right people will find you, and that's possible. It's happened. Like somebody winning awards, making a movie with a
There's a real person
phone.
there that is kicking my
got
ass.
him.
You killed him?
Yep.
Wow.
Thanks. That was a good reaction.
Nice work.
What is that? Oh, they're still here.
Why is there somebody crawling around?
There's like a lump in the way. Sub-Zero Combat Kit. I don't even know what that is.
I took them out took out their car at least with a sticky grenade launcher.
Okay, so the podcast is out. We're 14 episodes in. What's next? Well, doing all this work, I don't know if you can see the amount of views and stuff we've had on the podcast, but we've had really great feedback and engaged listeners, and that's awesome. But are we getting numbers where a sponsor would consider paying us to advertise on here? Nope. So are we doing it we're absolutely doing it because we enjoy it. But if I could do this instead of, I don't know,
going to work a job.
I'm trying to keep it positive, but if I wanted to be down playing for 3 hours at a time downtown while people eat and playing background music.
Being ignored for $150.
Yep. I mean, the price for that hasn't changed in 20 years. If I wanted to be doing that, then I wouldn't be looking at podcasting as a source of income to support ourselves. And like the ideas are stemming from podcasting where we could take the show on the road. We could produce shows in places that we visit. But it all starts with, is anybody listening to your show? Like, okay, so you got started. You got past, I saw a stat today and it said most podcasts don't make it past 3 episodes. The number drops down to like 70% of them don't make it past 10. And then the numbers are ridiculously low for how many people actually follow through. And it's still one of the least, like it's like if we got in on blogs when they first started.
Yeah.
It's still in the growth, it's still in growth period. So it's not saturated. The market's not saturated. And it is still an absolutely wonderful way to connect with people. And my motto for 2025 is, I don't know, let's try our luck with strangers. So the little old lady words that trip me up were things like SEO, which is like, oh, is there a secret formula to getting people to listen to your stuff? No. You can put words on that everybody's searching for, but people will figure out pretty fast that you're only putting words on there that have nothing to do with your actual content. And it's just to get people to, like, trick people basically into visiting your site. So your SEO, your search engine optimization, which means if somebody goes in and searches, I'm a 47-year-old woman and I want to start a business, I'm a musician or whatever, or like I'm a mom and I homeschool, how can I possibly find time to do a podcast in between? Okay, so that matches me perfectly, but how would anybody ever find me?
Who's shooting at us?
I don't know. So the keywords, the SEO, the search engine optimization, would make sure that my website and my podcast links mention those things that are assets, that are like why Vickie and not somebody else. So it's making sure that the people who are searching find you first or in their top 100 100 search results. Nobody's going past the third and fourth page of search results. So how do you get?
I'm knocked right behind you.
I know.
I'm right behind you.
Are they
There's
moving?
a car. There's a car behind us.
Oh, I see him. I see him.
Oh shoot.
We're dead.
Just run. Just run. Just run. Not good.
Oh, so close.
Thanks for trying.
When I was learning how to use Windows, remember Windows back in the day?
Yeah.
When it was brand new, it was a new operating system. I had a really great instructor at Kean College. Her name was Linda. And she explained that, here's what a document looks like. Here's what a file is. Here's where it's saved. When you name it, you got to make sure that there's a name on it so you can search for it. And I was like, what? But she explained it like it was a filing cabinet. She said the computer is like a filing cabinet. You're going to put something in a folder. You're going to name a document. Here's why it needs a name. Here's why it needs a different name from other things. And that analogy helped me visualize what I was working on. So I don't have an analogy for SEO, but I can tell you your SEO is different from somebody else's because it's the stuff that someone coming to me and saying, hey, I heard that you, what's an example of something I hate doing? Hey, I heard you went to secretarial school. You went to Kean College back in 2000 and you did an office administration. And I graduated at the top of my class. I was valedictorian. I don't want anybody to call me and ask me to be answering phones at their business. I have zero interest. I don't want to sell tickets. I don't want to be an usher. I don't want to, I hate that stuff.
I don't want to do locations for a film. I do a lot of stuff on a film set, but locations is the worst.
Okay. So if I were to, if I made up a website for you right now and I listed all your background work and all the work, the fact that you've done locations on films, of course people are going to call you and ask you to do that again.
You've done it, yeah.
Right. It's like it's like a resume. What do you want to resume doing? So if you put all your stuff on there, and so let's say you trick people on the internet into coming to your website because the trending word is makeup. 2025 is the year of no makeup. All those stars are going without makeup, and they're being called brave because they're having their picture taken without makeup. So if I put my keywords or if I put tags or whatever in my, like if we talk about it on the podcast right now, people come to my podcast, our podcast, sorry, thinking that we're going to be talking about not wearing makeup and feeling good about yourself. Like maybe that's a trending topic and maybe they come because we talked about it, but that's not anything.
They're not going to stick around.
We're not about that at all.
Not there,
that is not even, doesn't interest me at all. I've been going without makeup my entire life, and not one person has called me brave for it. In fact, people have said, have you considered a little color? Have you thought about maybe little invisible eyelashes there? Maybe you should consider makeup. My point is, if you put out there, like, you got to be really careful and figuring out who you authentically are and why people would love you. Like, why would they connect? And if they don't know the real you, they're going to be disappointed when they get in there and go, wait a second, this isn't a canvas tent. You don't live in a hut. You don't drive a what's that bike called with the
Peloton?
No.
Penny farthing?
Penny farthing. You don't ride a penny farthing. You probably couldn't pick out organic flaxseed if it hit you in the face. No, I couldn't. I don't
this
even know. This
metaphor has gone off the rails.
Well, but you get my point. Well, yes, we just talked about it, so that's going to show up now in the transcript. Am I going to put it in show notes? No, because I don't want people to call me about flaxseed or about answering phones for them. Zero interest. If somebody wanted to call me because they wanted their audio from their podcast edited and mastered to have it in proper form, like not proper form, because you can put pretty much anything online for a podcast. But if you want it to show up and you want the sound to be good, absolutely. Give us a call. Josh is really, really good at it.
Thanks, honey.
You're very welcome. Thank you for what you do for this. Between the audiobooks and the podcast sound and the TV shows, you've done TV sound for us, where we've had shows broadcast and they needed to be at certain decibel. See, I don't care about that stuff, but I know somebody who does and who pays attention to it and is meticulous, so I get him to do that stuff. I don't want to be doing work I hate. I want to be focused on spending my time doing things I love. And so that frees me up when I find people who are good at those things. And so, like, for example, I don't do editing. I don't do editing of somebody's book. I would be doing formatting to get your book ready for the KDP platform, but I don't edit your content because I don't want to tell your story. I feel like people's voices are what you should be telling your story in, and so I don't edit. I find it tedious and painful, and I don't want to ever have a conversation with somebody where you should say this differently, because that's not my story to tell. I don't want anybody editing my stuff. So I don't. So my ideal clients are probably people similar to me who would probably play Fortnite on a Friday evening with their husband, and maybe a little nerdy. You know, it's okay to be nerdy.
We like nerds around here.
Nerds are the new cool, aren't they?
Are you getting shot at?
Yeah. Yes, bad. Oh, there they are. Son of a bitch. Oh, yes, bye. Take that, Archibald. That was the person's name. Oh.
Those are just
spot.
guards.
Okay, I need some heals. Did that explain SEO, do you think?
I think it makes a lot more sense.
You think I could play it back and listen to it myself when I'm confused? Huh?
It sounds a little bit like you were talking about a resume.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, you already said that. Don't put stuff on your resume that you don't want to be doing. Yeah.
I think at this age, like if you're young and you don't have a whole lot of experience working, you're going to be confined to. I mean, I worked at Walmart when I was whatever.
Yeah.
And I can answer phones and I can work a cash register. Like when you're limited in that way, you know. I guess I'm kind of taking for granted that people are older, they've done lots of things, and they don't need to put everything on your resume. But that's what SEO amounts to: is what are you doing now? What are you good at? What do you want people to know you're good at? And don't bullshit them. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good advice. You should do this for a living.
It's kind of funny to think about. I do like the idea of giving people platforms. And I don't...
I got to say, you're very encouraging and supportive of people's creations and endeavors. Like when people are doing new things and putting themselves out there and being vulnerable, you've always been very encouraging and supportive of those people. That's nice to see.
Thank you for saying that. I'm gonna qualify that, if that's okay.
Okay. Are you in the storm?
Yep.
You should come out with me.
Hang on. I'm gonna get this med kit. I'm very encouraging to people, but I also don't sign up to work on their stuff. Like, I believe everybody should have an opportunity to excel and do well, but I don't necessarily volunteer to help everybody.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Like, so when I feel like that's one of those, like,
Shoot, I'm in the storm.
I think people find their own path for stuff. Like, if someone had come to me and said, hey, that first draft of your book is awesome. It wasn't. It was terrible. Like, it needed polish and it needed, it needed to be read over and it needed work.
Well, that's drafts.
It was the first draft was terrible. And so, depending on the stage people are in, like, if somebody records a podcast in their car on their phone, it doesn't mean like, oh, Vickie's so encouraging, she'll help anybody. Like, no. But should you start it? Absolutely. Like, yes,
yeah.
You should start it because you can't get better without starting it. But if you if you recorded a podcast next to your fridge that you haven't replaced in 35 years and it sounds like a freight train moving through your house, that's not something we could work with.
Right.
If there's 17 spelling mistakes on the first page of your book, like I help with formatting. I'll take the manuscript and put it into a format so that it lines up on the pages and the page numbers are proper, like put in the right place, and the table of contents is done and it has an ISBN number. I'll do all that stuff, but I don't edit, and I'm not going to rewrite your book for you. So maybe that's.
But there's people out there that can do that stuff if that's what.
There are editors
needs.
who are more than happy to do that, and I mean that's up to yourself if you want to use an editor. I think it should be in your voice, and an editor is going to make it sound like their voice. So, I mean, I guess we're pretty lucky that I have an English teacher in my house, but. And I know how I want stuff to sound. And I'm a big fan of Joel Hines, who doesn't use, I'm not going to say it off the top of my head. He doesn't use capital I's. And I think he doesn't use apostrophes a lot. Anyway, I'd have to go back and check. I just know that there was some pretty unique stuff in his books. And he's like he's a renowned.
Stuff that an editor would go, hang on a second.
Absolutely. But it is. Some of his books are written in a voice that would not use a capital I when he's reversing,
right.
Or wouldn't, like, it says something about the character, and so being able to defend that, That's drastically different from just spelling stuff bad, or not. No one. Anyway, I don't have anybody specific in mind when I say that. It's not necessarily. I'm supportive of everybody, but I'm not necessarily going to publish everybody's stuff either. Like, I'll show you how to do it. But
yeah.
Anyway, again, to say that I'm an advocate or encouraging of everybody, like, do I want to put that in my SEO? Because that's not quite true.
And sometimes that's what people need, is just some encouragement. Just a
More than
voice.
happy to encourage people. Someone, I'm trying to remember who it was. I saw somebody just the other day said you can set yourself up to do, it was one of those like online coaches. And they said you can set yourself up to let people hash out ideas and charge them X number of dollars for a couple of hour sessions and just call you to hash out an idea. I'm like, oh, I do that for free.
Yeah.
Like,
You get paid
oh
for
my
that?
God, what?
We can charge for
How
that?
do you tell people that you can hash out an idea with me? Like, how arrogant?
Isn't that life coaching?
How arrogant do you need to? Well, I don't know how much. My fear with life coaching or with any kind of creative coaching is like, what if I run out of, like, what if we get to a point where it's like, I don't have anything else to tell you. I'm at the end of my usefulness, I wouldn't know when to end it. Sorry.
Where'd they go?
Got a guy hiding in a bush here.
They're not in the bush. They're behind the bush now.
Are you sure?
I got somebody behind me. I got 2 people shooting at me.
Son of a bitch, where's he going? Oh, he's up there. There we go. Muddy boots. Sayonara. All right, that was awesome.
I'm down to 5 health, but I just killed 2 people. You good?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I think those 2 people were real, and I killed them. I just ruined somebody's night.
I don't think so. They'll just start over. What did we learn today? Do the thing. Get
Do
started.
the art. Be vulnerable. And it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yes, but if it's not perfect, don't call us.
That's right.
Sorry, I just peeked on your sound, on your
That's
audio
all right.
there. Sorry to the audio crew. I'm just kidding about that. But I'm a polisher. I think Josh will tell you that. I think you could probably do a testimonial for me that I'm very good coming in at the very end, slapping a little polish on something and taking credit for all of it.
I definitely wouldn't say that. You're good at sharing credit.
But I think I'm a polished person. And I'm also more than happy to show people, here's how I did it. Here's what I had to go look up. I can save you 10 years off your life. I can save you a year from not having to go look up everything about self-publishing.
Yeah.
But as far as like, is your book going to be a bestseller? I don't know. Do I know how to market and promote books? Nope. Still learning, figuring it out. And again, going back to, I did the marketing program at CNA, never learned anything about advertising. So I'm actually like kind of doing like a home study now. And instead of going out and going, hey, I'll figure out how to market or how to advertise, like I'm figuring it out with our own stuff.
Yeah.
And let's see how it goes, and let's see how the sales levels are and all that stuff. Before I even consider doing it for somebody else, I want to make sure I can do it for us with our stuff, assuming that our stuff is, worth selling.
Marketable.
Marketable. Yeah, exactly that. So we'll see. But it's a process, and learning as I'm going. And like most adult learners, yes, I'd love to go back to school and take another program, but I don't really have 2 years to put aside to do all the other classes also. And most of it, a lot of the stuff you can pick up as you're going along and
Learn about it as you're doing it.
for anything that you want to look up, there's generally, what's that rule? No, I might be going on a different track here. There's probably somebody else that has already done it and has put a video on YouTube
That's
explaining
true.
it. And so I guess I'm going to jump in that fray with the rest of the clutter and say, all right, I'm also here too. And why would you listen to me? Well, I don't know, because I've got these experiences. Here's what I might be bringing to the table.
What did Dean Graziosi call that? somebody that can save you a bunch of time because they've already done it. No. Anyway, there was a name that he used for basically, if you have the experience and the education, why not pass that along to somebody else so they don't have to waste years of their lives getting to the same point where you are when you can.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what word he used. But they have a whole program. You can take the, it was called KBB, the blueprint for something. Oh, God, I should know. Obviously, that didn't stand out for me. But there was a whole thing about like people who had had a kid with a certain allergy and came up with all these recipes so that the kid wouldn't get crazy eczema breakouts because they were allergic to gluten or whatever, and had to figure out for whatever reason how to do something, and then shared that knowledge brokers is what he called them. Oh, Josh is distracted because he's
person just got revived, and we took him out. Oh, here's somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, I see him. You see him?
Yep. Oh, I'm knocked, but they're almost there. Yep.
Ha! Take that.
Teamwork.
Knowledge brokers.
Knowledge brokers. People that's the one.
And so it's like, generally, I think people are sitting in their homes, and maybe their life is starting to get like a little bit boring. Like, what could I possibly offer anybody, blah, blah, blah. That sort of mentality. But they also feel this little spark of like, I feel like I have something to offer. I just don't know how to define it. I don't know how would I possibly deliver to people. And so Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins had this program where you could learn, and it was a few $100s. But they would like coach you basically for 16 or 20 lessons, and they had all these experts come in. That's how I found Jenna Kuchar. And it was all about stuff that you've learned. There's definitely at least one, I mean, there's more than one, but there's somebody out there that's going, man, my kid just got diagnosed with eczema, and it's obvious that it's like a food allergy, but I don't know how to possibly make stuff that is still nutritious and also doesn't flare up this whatever. Or like when somebody gets a health diagnosis that they got to cut out certain things out of their diet. People that have had those experiences learn how to cope and get by and thrive and succeed, and sharing that knowledge of how you did that saves it. So maybe it took you 10 years, but then you can skip all that. Yeah. And you can just tell somebody else like, hey, here's how I did it. And again, I'm going to go back to Yellowstone. There was a line from Kevin Costner who said, it wasn't from Kevin, it was from his character. So I guess Taylor Sheridan said it. But it was, I think each generation, we go through trauma so we can tell the next generation how we got through it so that they don't have to go through it. And I think that applies to this sort of stuff. There's people making online courses and workshops and all these things that, why would anybody care what I know how to do or what I've learned? And it's like, let's try your luck with strangers. There's probably a population of people out there who maybe want to write a book after they've lost a baby, or who have married an American and are trying to navigate Canadian policy, whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm sure there's more to me than...
That's pretty exciting to think about, though.
It just seems like there's a population out there. And part of it starts with, like, who would want to hear my story? Lots of people. Okay, next question. Oh, you want to doubt yourself for a little while longer? Okay, then let me know. Like, how can I help with that?
Get past that part.
My best examples are, well, I believed that people wanted to hear my story, so, you know.
I feel like there's people here.
I think we're getting close to the end of our podcast, honey.
Are we?
I think so. I think we've been...
It's an hour and 15 minutes in.
This feels way better than the first time around when I was just playing Fortnite and not actually doing the podcast. So that's great. And maybe we just, like I said, do a warm-up next time.
That's a good idea.
To get in the mode of...
All right, there's only 3 people left.
Ooh.
All right, lock in.
This is getting serious. All right.
I think there's people
So bear with
there.
us. So if you're listening to the podcast, this might be... So find us on YouTube, fast forward to the last few minutes and see this, because this is going to be a clutch performance.
Yep. You need some shield?
I didn't have an Are You Mad at Me story. No, I'm full. Full
I
health,
need
full shield. Oh. I didn't have an Are You Mad at Me section this time, and I also didn't really do my Nateland appreciation podcast.
Hope somebody's flying in.
Yeah, did they get rebooted? Oh, there's somebody. Oh, no. Oh!
One down. Oh, no!
Seriously? Oh, that was
the very last
embarrassing.
person.
Okay.
That's a good place to stop.
So we'll go back to lobby, on here, and we'll clue up now with the podcast.
That was fun.
Thanks for joining us again. Someone wrote to me today and said, "How can I help?" Which, I mean, sounds like I'm drowning. I know. Call to action. Let's practice.
Yes.
What can you do to help? If you want to. If you've been listening for the last hour and a half, you probably like us. And if we made a suggestion on how you could help for free, it'd take like a minute out of your day.
Follow on Spotify and or YouTube. And
leave a comment.
You can leave comments. Yeah,
comments boosted in the algorithm. What else? We're gonna keep working. We're gonna keep chipping away at the show notes and the tags and the meta. What do you call it? The SEO.
Yep.
We're also on iHeartRadio now, so there's a whole new people. So there's a whole thing that happens when there's a new podcast. Like I think it shows up as like new this week or whatever.
Yeah.
We can't rely on that for any of the other platforms because we're not new. But I will say Josh put a whole bunch of promo videos on as shorts on our YouTube channel, and they have hundreds and hundreds of views, which is also who knows about this stuff.
So that's
on
YouTube
who knows
is RU, the letters RU, and then mad at me. That's what's on YouTube.
I think there's a whole lot of people who have already gone this route and figured out how to do it, and they have YouTube videos and they have podcasts and Reddit threads and websites and all that stuff and stuff on Pinterest, how to do it. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Go do a search. Find the people that know how to do the thing, have done the thing, are doing well with the thing, and do what they did. And, you'll get your chance to invent a wheel one of these days, but you don't need to beat your brains out trying to figure out
who knows?
Trying to figure it all out by yourself.
Maybe you'll figure out a new and different way to do it as you're learning.
Maybe.
And it'll be a brand new thing. And then you'll be the one teaching.
Maybe.
Teaching people down the road.
I think there's a lot of possibilities, and it's really nice to have a creative outlet so you don't... right now we have Fortnite. Oh, I'm level 5 already. Look, how are you level 7? That was a good game. Good few games, by the way. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Did we get a crown?
We didn't get any crown victories. We got a couple wins.
When we sign off here, we're going to go back and play and get a crown win
get our levels up
before we quit.
We can go grind.
New season on Fortnite, so check that out. Join us on Fortnite if you'd like. It's Mulberry Creek Misses. That's spelled MRS at the end. So Mulberry Creek, no spaces. Mulberry Creek MRS. And cool is Josh's handle on Fortnite. So join us on there. Send us a friend request and we'll play Fortnite with you. And otherwise, what else?
That's it.
Are you sure?
I'm Josh Morgan.
I'm Vickie Morgan.
We'll see you next week.